welcome to our Meet the Teachers for Year 5. I'm Mrs. Clifton.
And I'm Miss Hay.
And we're just going to run through a little presentation with you just for your expectations for your children who are in Year 5, what to expect, the basics. Of course, if you have anything else that you want to discuss with us, you can always catch us in the morning or after school. So, first up, just a little introduction to the staff who are going to be working with your child or your children in Year 5. We've already introduced ourselves. I have taught for 3 years previously in Year 5 when I first started my teaching career, and then I taught for 3 years in Year 4, and now I'm back to Year 5, which is super exciting.
Hi everyone, I'm Miss Hay, and I have just got back from working in Abu Dhabi for 2 years where I was a Year 6 teacher. I'm very excited to be working with your children. I have had previous experience in Year 5 and Year 4, so I'm really used to this age group. I'm really looking forward to getting going with them.
And we also have for about 2 weeks Miss Davidson as well, who has been in Year 5 for the past couple of years, who is going to be working with your children, getting to know some of the children, which is super exciting before her maternity leave. As you can see, our teaching assistants in Year 5 are Mrs. Cooper. So Mrs. Cooper will be working with both classes. She'll be supporting in lessons. She will be between both classes doing pre-teaches, interventions and different activities. Mrs. Lovell and Mrs. Siddiq are predominantly going to be working in 5H with Miss Hay, supporting some children in there. So they are some familiar faces who will be on the yard as well. Miss Gent and Mrs. Cooper are the PPA covers, which just means when it's our planning time, they will be teaching some subjects to the children. So they're, you know, familiar faces for the children as well, which is great.
Okay, so this is where the children will be. So they've moved up onto the upper Key Stage 2 corridor. So their classrooms are both very similar to the picture set up here. So the children will be working in groups together. You can see some of the displays. So we've paired those back to make them really appropriate for the learning that the children will be doing, and they'll get changed every half term to be suited to the topics. We've also got the very exciting new playground and slide that 5H actually got to use already, and they've been super excited. They loved it. And there is a YouTube video showing how to use it safely and appropriately that the children can watch, and you can watch at home. And there also is a picture of the locker room there, so the children used that this morning, and they've all got their individual locker spaces to store any of their belongings.
PE. The children have PE on a Monday afternoon, which is the outdoor slot, and on a Wednesday afternoon as well, which is the indoor slot as well. So the PE and sports uniform, it's just black and white really. So we've got the shorts, obviously when it's a little bit warmer, jogging bottoms when it's colder, especially when we go outside, weather permitting. If it is quite bad weather and we are due to have our slot outside, we will do our PE, you know, in the classroom, so the children are still getting their exercising. There are new uniforms which have the Devonshire Road logo. Super, they look really, really smart, which can be purchased from Smart Clothing if you wish for your child to be, you know, wearing one of those. We do just ask though for every item of clothing, I know it's a pain to have labels in it, especially jumpers, because it's one of those things that just goes missing sometimes, and obviously we want to get it back to their owner in that sense. Trainers for when we are outside. If we've got indoor PE, then the children can be wearing pumps as well.
And just to add, the children are coming into school on their PE days in their PE uniforms. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, the children do not need to come in normal school uniform. They can come in their PE uniform to be used to stay in all day. So they don't need to bring in that PE bag. This is a curriculum overview of everything that your child or children will be learning this year with us. You can access this on the website, as I know it's a little bit hard to see here. But this first half term we'll be looking at some really exciting things like forces in science, early Islamic civilization and history, online safety for computing, but if you want to ask your children anything about what they've been learning about so far, you can refer to that on the website to speak to them about it.
So reading expectations, as when the children were in year 4, we expect, you know, when we would like them to be reading at least 3 times per week at home. You know, for a 20-minute session, I know some children will want to read for longer, which is absolutely fantastic. It is a fundamental part of their homework, really, and it is the priority. And there's such a big difference when the children are getting that extra reading in at home. They're being exposed to amazing vocabulary, different themes, exciting things, and they actually come in wanting to tell you about what they've read, which is amazing. It just helps so much. It's not just reading, it helps with their writing, and obviously their writing, we do writing in all subjects, so it's just so important, and that little bit of push at home. And you know, even if you're cooking tea and you wanted to ask your child or your children some questions about the book that they're reading, then that's absolutely great. You know, that's just helping them, supporting them that little bit further, which we really appreciate.
And just following on from that, so again, for homework with reading, we do recommend that the children read for 20 minutes 3 times per week, and to record that in their reading diaries. And on a Friday, our reading ambassadors will check to see how many times the children have been reading, and they'll also be read with by staff members during the school week. As part of their homework, we've got times tables on Times Tables Rockstars, following on from the Times Tables test that they did at the end of year 4. We've got some really exciting Rockstar stuff coming up throughout the year, and they can do competitions against staff and other members of the class. So it's a really, really good way to really cement those times tables knowledge, and it's so important for their maths learning. Following on from that, spellings on Spelling Shared, another really exciting way to keep up with their spellings, and it also links to our weekly spelling tests. So it's a really good way. I've used this since I've been teaching for like nearly the last 7 years, and it's just a really, really great thing to use to help cement those spellings in. Maths and English will be maths one week followed by English the next week, and that'll be in their homework book. And for each of those, times tables, spellings, maths, we recommend 30 minutes on each of those. We'll be sending homework home on a Friday, and then the children can bring it back in the following Friday. If they want to bring it in early or if they have any questions, then we completely encourage that too. And we always appreciate all the help with encouraging the children to do that homework at home, so thank you.
This is the website, which I'm sure you are familiar with. All the news and events, if you wanted to even look at term dates, for example, when is it half term, when are the holidays, you'll find all the information on the website. There is a little worry box bit on the website as well, so if you wanted to put something in there, that would then alert school, and it's just another way of contact. Say, you're at home, your child's at home and has a worry about something, because we use the worry boxes in school, but the worry might be something that's worrying them at home as well, and they can't quite get to that worry box at the time. But all your information is on there. Key details. Attendance. So the school day starts at 8:45. That's when the door is opened and the children come in and to start their day. Once they've taken the coats off, gone to the lockers, they come to class and they have what we call EMT, which stands for Early Morning Task. Now, early morning task is always related to work that we have been doing. So, for example, one week, if we've been learning about geography, there will be a history EMT. And that is just as a way to recap previous learning that the children have been doing. Because as we know, sometimes when we don't revisit something very often, then we need that little bit of a recollection really to recall it and to go back to that bit and remember, and recall those different facts. So it's really important for your children to be here on time. We take the register at 9 AM. If it's after 9 AM, then the doors will be shut and the children will come in sort of through the office. And just to highlight really how important attendance is, at the end of the school year, if their attendance is below 90%, that's actually more than 20 days absence. And obviously at that point, they've missed quite a lot of learning, which needs to be caught up on really. And the children love coming in early. It's a way for them to feel settled, feel calm, to do a little bit of work and, get ready for assembly at some days.
This is just a slide reminding of the uniform. The children were all wonderful and smart this morning, but a little reminder, white polo short and grey skirt or trousers or shorts or a grey pinafore, and dresses for the girls if they want. Sensible black footwear, so making sure, because they're going to be doing a lot of running around playing outside, that they're sensible shoes, no heels, anything like that. And then that royal blue jumper or cardigan. If you feel like your children need an extra layer, we encourage that the children wear their layers underneath their school uniforms, so they've always got that blue jumper with the emblem on top, just to keep that sort of uniform consistent across the whole of the school. As part of that uniform, we do permit jewellery, but simple and not impacting any of their health and safety. So if they're going to be wearing earrings, to wear a small stud, not hoops. For PE reasons and things like that, they can get caught quite easily and can be issues for tearing and things in their ears. A simple watch that's not a smartwatch. Okay, so we ask the children not to bring in smartwatches that can receive text or anything like that, so they should be staying at home. But a normal watch that just tells the time, or one of the watches that just count the steps, they're absolutely fine, but not the ones that take texts or calls or anything like that. And they can wear any adornment that is used for religious purposes. They are fine to wear. If the children need to bring in a phone because they walk home from school, for example, they need to drop it off in the office when they arrive, and then the phones will get handed back out to them before the end of the school day, but they must be handed in so the children don't have them on their person throughout the school day.
And last but not least, reading volunteers. We, as we said before, reading is so important, and we ensure that we are reading with the children weekly. And, we completely would love your help. So, if you had a little bit of spare time perhaps in the week and you wanted to do a little bit of reading to help, with the children, then that would be absolutely appreciated. And the children love going out to read, and it's so exciting listening to the children read and building up that relationship with them. So, it's such a rewarding job to do as well. If you wanted to do that, and you can speak to the office, you can let us know after school if it was something that you'd be interested in. And yeah, we'd absolutely love to welcome you. All right, thanks for listening. If you have any questions, any queries, then you know where to find us, at the door near the ball pen at home time, and of course in the morning as well if there's any messages to pass on.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.